All right, good morning. Today, looking at a new ship that I've been playing around with for a little while. This is the Beluga. This is the largest ship that I've ever created and posted online. I think it comes out just about 4 meters short of the maximum length. But we'll get down into the shipbuilder. I'll take it apart, show you some of the stuff I did with it, and we'll take it into combat, see how it performs. And I'll take you on a tour on the inside. All right, here we go. All right, we're down here in the shipbuilder. As you can see, this has max shields for Class C, 1600. Cargo is 7,115. 10 crew members, 30 light year jump range, 100 mobility, and a top speed of 130, which is the highest for Class C. I'm using the SAL 6830 engines from Slate Aerospace. But you have to do the All That Money Can Buy quest from Stroud before you can access those engines. But other than this, it's a pretty simple design. It's basically just a long tube with two pylons on the other side. Kind of looks like a battle star now that I think about it. But I painted it all white, named it the Beluga, and I'm happy with the way it came out. It was kind of tricky to do some of the things I did because this is the first time I don't generally like to build large ships because the ladders will be all over the place and as well as the doors. So I've done this with the companionways. So when you use a companionway, it will always put the ladder there. So I've forced it basically to make all the ladders in the ship appear right here, which is nice because as soon as you go through the landing bay, you're just right there at the ladder, and you can go up to deck 1, 2, and 3. Actually, there's 4 decks, isn't there? I'm not sure. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 decks. So you can go access all the decks just from the same companionway that I have stacked here. And the second challenge was I didn't, it's not as efficiently as it could have been. Like there's like on that second deck, I could have added some more halves, but the doorways were just completely stupid the way they were putting them. Like you'd come in, you'd have to go to the left, then go all the way down to the end, go around, and come back up to get to the hab that was like right next to the companionway to begin with on the other side. Instead of just putting a door here, you'd have to go over here, go all the way down here, come up this way, and it was just like, this is stupid. So until Bethesda comes up with some way of us forcing a door in a specific location, as well as the ladders too, because this is why I don't like to build these large ships. It's just a pain in the ass. But I'll show you what I've done with it, and we'll go from there. And I go to apologize that I'm probably going to fail to put this ship together properly about 15 times because it's kind of complicated, but I'll do my best. All right, here we go. All right, I've got this thing disassembled for the most part. Starting off, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 of these Aculander 11 landing gears from Stroud Eklund. You can get these at Neon. And I've got them so the curves are facing outwards on both sides. You can set them up to look like this or like in the center position, but we're going to go with a curve outside to give it a nice streamlined look. So it's 12 gears, and then in the middle, holding it all together, are 2 Stroud engineering bays, 3x1, and a shipbed 200 landing bay from Tayo at the head end of the first engineering bay. So most of these parts come from Neon, and I'll try to call out which parts I got from places that weren't from Neon. Start with the Stroud companionway, 1x1. So when you come into the ship, your ladder will come up right here to the companionway, and then I'll have all the companionways stacked on top of each other. So you just there'll just be one ladder that runs up to the entire or to the top of the ship. For cargo, I'm using 4 of these 30T haulers, and I got them on here just like this. And I don't think it matters which way they're facing, but I just got them facing outwards. So it kind of looks like that. But like I said, I don't think it matters. All right. Right here on top of the first engineering bay, we're going to put our Stroud living quarters. So deck 1 is just going to be all engineering. Deck 2 is all the living area for the ship. So we start with the Stroud living quarters, 2x1. We'll put it there just like that. And then on the back, we use 2 of these Galleon S203 cargo holds. And we're going to put them right there. So we're going to leave these 2 spots blank and the 2 in the back blank. So on the back, on these 3 slots here, we're going to use a SF40 shear flow reactor, an Apollo GV200 grav drive, and a 700T HE3 fuel tank, just like that. Now we'll form the ass end of the ship right there. Now on these 2 slots here, we're going to be using 2 Stroud living quarters, 2x2, and they're going to hang out like, move this thing out of the way. They're going to hang out like little wings. And this little spot back here, I actually don't even remember what I had back here. Oh, I do now. Okay. I put 2 of these DeGamma 1000 cargo holds. One right there. One's a 1000. The other was a 1010 cargo hold. And so far, I think everything we've got so far, you can buy at Neon. For the shield generator, we're going to use an Assurance SG 1800. We're going to put it right there. Alright, and then I guess we'll start building deck 3. So the deck 3 is just going to be the mess hall and the cargo hold. I'll go there just like that. Cargo hold in the rear, and that is flush with the engine, fuel tank, and grav drive. I guess at this point we could connect our engines. These are the SAL 6830s. These are the, because they're only 2 power, you can have 6 of them. And they have an insane amount of maneuvering thrust. So these are the best engines if you want to have cargo. I think without these engines, the Poseidon DT230s are probably the best. You can only have 3 of them on the ship at the time. Excuse me. And the best cargo I can push out of those 230s is about 6,400, 62 to 6,400 cargo. Now, because I'm not just focusing on cargo, my cargo on this is only 7,100, but I've built ships anywhere from 8 to 9,000 cargo and still maintain 100 mobility. That's when I build ships, I always have 100 mobility. I never go below that. That's just my thing. I don't know why. I know some guys will build ships with like 40,000 cargo, and the ship will have like 15 mobility. Whatever works for you. And I just like to have 100 mobility. I hate trying to turn in a dogfight and I can't maneuver. So I guess you could use turrets, which that's fine, but and I do have turrets on this, but this is just, I like to keep it at 100 mobility. It's just like a personal challenge for me. So as you can see, these wings stick out on the sides. That's basically what these outboard pylons that I built, or these pontoons, do, is to cover that up. So I left them built, assembled, just because I didn't want to try to remember how I put it all together. So we're going to use a Stroud Cap A on the front, a Stroud Cap A on the rear, and you can turn these around. They can flip. Do I got something on there? Oh yeah. If you ever have an item on the equipment, you can't flip it. You have to take everything off first. So these can go forwards or backwards. and then you can turn them whichever way you want to use for the design. So we're basically using 4 of these Stroud Cap A's. We'll put the one there, and put this back on. This is that comm spike, and I just stuck it right up under the thing here. Oops, that should be right there. And then I use 2 of these Stroud cowlings, one LB, and they'll go right there. So that's the left pontoon, and then on the right, it's the same thing. You use 1, 2, 3, 4 of these Stroud Cap A's. Let's hook up the bottom first, and then do that one. Bottom, top, and then it's the same thing. Stroud cowling, 1 LBs, right there. And you could put another 2 by, hab right here. Maybe I'll play with that later. That might not be a bad idea to put a 2x1 hab right here. I would actually save, because the 2x1 habs are only 8 tons, or 8 kilograms. I think it's kilograms. I don't know what the unit measurement is in this game. But, do I not have any 2x1 halves in here? Oh, they're over here. Yeah, they're 8 mass, and these are 5 each. So you could put a another 2x1 hab on either side. I don't know. I'll play with that later. So the ship is starting to take form. You see on the bottom, it's sleek on the bottom. There's no grav drives or fuel tanks or reactors or any of that crap hanging down. Everything is kind of internalized. Now on the top, I'm going to take this off. I think my mouse is dying. I gotta get a new one. I've got such an old mouse that I can't even find one anymore. I guess I'm going to have to finally get it like a new brand. So on the top, we're going to use Stroud cowling 3LA ST. It's going to go right there. And basically, this is just to cover up all the crap on the top. And then another cowling 3LA and another cowling 3A. So it's 4 total. It's just going to form the fuck. Yeah, that's right. It's going to go just like that. Damn it, that's not right. So 4 cowling, 3 LAs. And then in the center, starting from the rear, we're going to use a Stroud mid bracer just to cover up this last piece right here, because we need somewhere to put this last engine. So these last 3 6830s will go there. And then we have 2 of these Stroud 2x1 habs, and one I just did as a captain's quarters, another as a control station, and then another Stroud companionway. Where's the other one at? Oh, it's over here. Come on, mouse, don't die on me. So this is the first companionway, the second one, and the third. That way, when we go into the hab here, we're right there in the engineer bay, and the ladders will just go straight up to the top. Now I needed these cavities here. I just needed something to fill in here, so I just used 2 of these. So I'm going to do it this way. Yeah. I'm just going to do it like that. You know what? I'm going to face them outwards. No, I'm going to do it this way. Yeah, I know I did. Yeah, we'll just do it like that. It doesn't really matter. Why is this one painted different? All right. Where am I at? We're going to put the cockpit right up here on the top. It's going to go right there. Then we're going to use 2 more of these oh, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. So we're going to use 2 more of these Stroud cap A's. Want to go there. And then one's going to go on that one right there. It's going to leave a gap here. And we're going to fill that gap in with this Stroud nose cap C. If you look at it, it's kind of got a curve to it, and you can flip these around. I don't think you can turn them upside. No. You can just go left or right. We're going to put this one in just like that. Kind of like a little sandwich effect there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Stroud cap A. Another Stroud cap A. It's going to go right there. And then we'll use this second Stroud nose cap C to fill in the gap. So now you've got this big hollow area here in the middle. For the top piece right here, I tried putting some 2x1/2s in there, and you can do that. Well, actually, I don't think you can do that on the top. Yeah, it won't fit under the cockpit for some reason, but you can put one there if you wanted. But I don't know, I didn't like the way that looked. So I used a Nova weapons mount, and this is something that you can't get at Neon. You have to go to, you can get it at New Homestead, but I always go to New Atlantis, and you can buy them there. The same with these Nova Galactic braking engines. You can get those at New Atlantis. And I also got the Deimos braking engine and the Deimos hull at New Atlantis. So other than that, I don't... Oh, and the DP Slim Docker here on the bottom, that comes from New Atlantis also. And I've got it flipped upside down. It goes either up or down. And we'll stick it there. That way if you come in, if you dock from station, you're right there at the ladder already. So it's just one big ass ladder that runs through the length of the ship. And I'll show you that when I get into the ship. So anyways, I'm using this Nova Galactic weapons mount. And I've got 4 of these PBO 175 auto helion beams attached to it. So it fits perfect. And now if you had Class C weapons, they're too big. You can only get 2 of them of the Class C weapons on here. But Class B and Class A, you can put 4 weapons on these, which is nice. We're going to stick it in there just like that. And then over here, I used a Deimos hull A and a Deimos braking engine right on the front of that. And both those parts come from New Atlantis, as well as these 2 Nova braking engines. We're just going to slap them on the sides of the ship bed 200 landing bay. So this is the ship proper. We'll attach our weapons, and I'll go through all the weapons I've got on here. I didn't have to stick them on these. I just like the way that looks, the way they kind of stick out at a 45-degree angle. I use the weapons horizon mounts to mount these on the sides like that. I'm going to put the, this is the conduction grid. If you ever get the, what's that quest called? The Crimson Fleet mission. If you ever do that, I always side with the Crimson Fleet because it just gives you access to the Crix space station, which is nice. And these are 2 of the items that you get. You can only get these 2 items if you side with the Crimson Fleet. There's no reason not to side with them. Even if you side with the Crimson Fleet, you can still come to all of the UC territory, and they don't care. It doesn't matter. They're still friendly to you. So it really just opens up a new area for you to have access to, which is nice because if you want to sell all your contraband and all that, and you don't want to mess around with shielded cargo holds and all that, you can just fly over to the Crix station and sell all that crap there, and they don't care. Anyways, this conduction grid is one of the 2 items you can get that's unique to Crimson Fleet, and this increases your shield regeneration rate by 25%, so that's nice. And the other item was the conduction grid. I tried to stick it, which is kind of frustrating. I put the conduction grid over there, and I was going to put this right here, but it doesn't fit. So I had to stick it up under this pylon over here. But the comm spike, it reduces the time to lock onto an enemy by 25%. And then chips what costs 20% less to use targeting mode. I almost never use targeting mode though. So these two items are nice to have, but you can only get them from doing the Crimson Fleet stuff. The mass comes out to 4,275, which is the limit of this build. Anything over, so even if I add one more mass, my mobility starts to drop down to 99. So I've maxed out the mass. But this is the ship. I'm using 4 of these PBO 300 auto alpha turrets, and I got them mounted on the pylons, on the outboard pylons. And then the 4 of these PB 300 alpha beams, and I just used the Horizon weapons mounts to put them on the sides. And then on the weapons mount, I have 4 of the PBO 175 auto helion beams. And like I said, if there's something you want to change in the build, like you want to add bigger weapons, but you want to keep 100 mobility, the easiest thing you can do is take this crap out and start just either deleting or downgrading your cargo inside the hab. Oh, and I have, just so you know, I don't like to have the shield generator sticking out on the top. I had this one spot that I didn't need. I thought I was going to have to put cargo here, but it turns out that I hit my mass limit before I needed to use this little cavity right here, so I just put the shield generator inside. You know, you can actually put weapons in here too, you know, if you mounted them on a like a weapons plate or something, and they can just shoot right through the thing. That's kind of cheesy, but it works. The game, as long as the weapon is mounted properly, it doesn't care what's in front of it. It'll still work. But I like to do this like here. We can hide the shield generator down there. But like I was saying, if you want to reduce the weight for some reason, if you want to add something else, these two cargo holds, you can either downgrade them. Well, you can only downgrade this one. This one's the smallest one already. Or you can just delete them, and that'll work. So we're going to put our cargo hold back in the center here. Put the captain's quarters there, and let's see. Oh, no. I'm not going to do this right now, but I just wanted to see something. If I wanted to put a science lab here. Tell me that's okay. Let's try the other one then. Is it this one that's blocking it? Well, that's freaking annoying. So I'd have to move the gun somewhere else. But you could put another 2x1 hab there. I'm not going to use this one because I don't like to mix and match habs. So if I wanted to do it, I'd go back over to Neon and just buy 2 more Strauds. But I could do the workshop and the science labs on the sides of the I guess it's kind of straddling the mess hall and the cargo hall. But I'm not going to mess with that right now. That's something I'll play with later. It's just an option. It's not a bad idea though. So we're nominal. As I said, with our weapons, we're using 4 of the PVO 175s, 4 of the PP 300 alpha beams, and 4 of the PBO 300 auto alpha turrets. Unfortunately, you can't paint these, so they're going to have to stay gray. But this is the ship. This is the largest ship I built. 40 is the limit. So it's 80. 40 is from the center line. So it's 80 meters is the total length of the ship that there's the maximum limit of the ship that you can build in this game. So I'm almost at the extreme edge. I don't know what the limit is on the width. I've never made a ship that wide. I guess it's the same, but I don't know. But yeah, it's a nice streamlined look for the most part. You can kind of see the equipment in the back here, but whatever. Kind of got a fat face. That's why I call it the Beluga. Why do I have an error now? I didn't even change anything. See, it does this all the time to me, where I didn't even do anything, and now I gotta Now I'm back to nominal. But let me take you through a tour of the inside. So anyways, before I get out of the shipbuilder, I have 7,115, and like this is the other ship. Like if you don't have the the 6830 Slayton Aerospace engines, these DT 230s from Poseidon are pretty nice. They're pretty powerful, and even still got the cargo up to 6,030 on this, and still maintain good weapons, shields, and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of like those aren't the end all be all engines. This is my standard ship that I usually use. It's got 8,000 cargo, but I'm using those SAL 6830 engines. All right, so we'll go outside, and you see it's huge. It's like sticking out almost over the ramp here. Go inside. Okay, I guess you gotta jump. It's a tripping hazard. And if you look up, you're right here at the ladder. This is the docker for if you're docking in a space station. And it goes all the way to the top of the ship. I just put two engineering bays down here because I didn't know what else to stick down here. But I like the idea of engineering being at the bottom level. They go all the way back to where the engines would be. So this is deck 1. Deck 2 is all the living area. So every time you go up the ladder, you're going to come up inside one of these companionways, and it'll just have the door that goes to all the stuff. So this is the first all-in-one living area. And on the side, these are the wings that were sticking out into the pylons. I have two of these 2x1, or excuse me, I think they're 3x1 habs, or 2x2, 2x2. And then I have the same thing on the other side. So this entire deck is just for living quarters for crew to hang out and sleep and do whatever. This bathroom's over here. But what I was trying to avoid by I could put some more, I was able to put some more stuff back here on the behind these like this hab right here. Like I had another 2x1 hab, and what happened was this stupid thing, like I would come in here and this door over here was gone, so I had to come over here, run around. It put the door back here for some dumbass reason. Then I had to go around all the way to this side, and I put the door back here, and I came in over here, and I was like, and then it was just dumb. I don't know why the game does it like that. So just by doing it like this, it keeps it very simple. I just have, you come in, you get 2x1, and you go left or you go right, and it's just the two halves on either side. So deck 3 is the mess hall and the cargo deck. This is my favorite hab of all the habs, is the mess hall. I just like the idea of having a
Do you need something?
nice dedicated area to eat and everything. This is the pantry. Got a refrigerator right here. It's looking pretty bare. This is our stove. You're doing a good job, Amari. And then
Dusty.
enough to shut up.
Dusty.
Little meeting room right here, kind of like the ready room in Star Trek. I guess if you wanted to watch some TV, come in here and chill out. Back here is the cargo deck, or cargo hab.
I don't know about you, but it felt like I could do a lot worse in Constellation.
kind of like this hab because it's just adds a little bit of realism. Because if you had a real spaceship, you'd have to have somewhere to store all the stuff. Kind of like a space shuttle has its cargo area where it used to launch satellites from and everything. And then the last deck in the cockpit right here. If we go over here, we get the control station. Add, you noticed our crew was at 10. That's because, was it 10 or 9? I don't even remember now. But oh no, it was 10 because I have 2 of the engineering bays. Engineering bay adds 1 crew member. I have 2. But I needed to, at least get it to 8, so that's why I added this 4. This adds 4, so 4 plus the 2 of the cockpit, or no, 4 is, actually now that I think about it, yeah, I don't even really need the engineering base because the cockpit has 4 and this has 4, so that would be 8. But we're going to keep the engineering base. So this is my personal quarters right here. Got my own bathroom. The captain's quarters. I got a navigation console in here for some reason. Most uncomfortable looking bed I've ever seen. Can't pick up the trash, that's unfortunate. I don't know why there's a refrigerator or a freezer in here. And that's the top, right? Yeah. This is the cockpit, and it has 2, 4 crew stations, which is why the cockpit is rated for 4 crew members. Here's the cargo hold, and here's the captain's locker. So I don't think you can put a whole lot in that captain's locker. Yeah, it's just 40. Like, what's that good for? That's that. We'll take it into orbit.
Engine's ready.
That's like right up on the engine.
And we're back where we belong.
Okay, whoops. We get our power redistributed here. And you can see from the outside, the ship is pretty long. This has the same mobility as any of my other ships, which is 100. If we go into the stats with the cargo payloads, or the payload skill, that increases my cargo to 12,326, and that's also with Samco on board. I think he adds another 10%-ish, 10 or 11%, somewhere in there. So I got 12,326 cargo. Omari on board brings my shield power up to 2,880, which is the maximum. I have 10 crew members, even though 8 is the max. And I have the most powerful reactor. I keep forgetting to pick up Vasco, so that really should be 46. Vasco adds 1 extra power to the engines or something, or just used overall. But yeah, I'm happy with this. Oh, you know what? Does it put the value? Yeah, this ship was absurdly expensive. So it's almost 700,000 credits. What did I do to myself? Dislocated limb. Oh, that's not it. Alright, we're going to go over to Serpentis. Play around with the zealots over there. If you guys have ever played Elite Dangerous,
Yes,
I like the
we're here.
hyperspace thing a lot better in that game. It's pretty cool. The sounds and the graphics, that's pretty neat. I want to talk about this real quick.
Look at those
Well, make sure that they're not going to jump me real quick. I'll talk about it afterwards.
You have met your doom. shot. Target
All
shields
right,
are
so when you're
frag.
dealing with the, is there any way to? I guess not. So if you look at your weapons over there on the left, I have three groups, and they're all particle weapons. I had somebody commenting on my other YouTube video, and I think a lot of people are confused about how this works. The engines have to be at full power to give your full speed. So you can see my speed is 202. If I start depowering the engine, my speed will slow down. Okay? So in order to maintain full speed, you always got to have full power to your engines. Now, if you only have, like if I had three of those engines, that would be 6 power. So I'd only need 6 bars to be at full power to reach full speed. But I have all 6 of the engines installed, so that takes a maximum of 12 power. So you got to put all 12 power in to maintain to 202 speed, or whatever the max speed is for the engine you're using. The same for the shields. If you see my shield power on the right, see it's 100. If I start depowering the shield will go down. So you always want to keep your engines and your shield at full power, always. There's no reason, there's no good reason to not always have them at full power. Now the engines or the weapons are different. The weapons, even if you put no power into the, oh, I guess you gotta have at least one power. So you have one power, they still hit at full power, even though they only have one bar. They just don't recharge as fast. You can see how slow they're recharging? It takes forever. So the more power you put into the weapons, it doesn't affect the amount of damage they do, it just affects how fast they recharge. Alright. So you can see on the right there, I guess you can just kind of keep firing on this one. But watch the particle power on the right there. So I get it down to 0, let it go, and see how fast it recharges now. Now if I only have one bar in there, it would take forever. But you could do that, where it doesn't affect how hard the weapons hit. It just affects how fast they recharge. And that's what I wanted to go over. See if there's a hostile activity area. So there's some Varun eulogies all the way. They're already in system when I got here, which is kind of rare.
Are you prepared to face judgment?
Nowhere to run, pal. Grab dry mounts. Shields are down. We got him, Captain. Yes. Can't skip the system. Grab dry mount permission.
Yeah, there's like 4 guys on the system.
Aye. Target's engine is down. Nice.
Alright, so that's, like I said, it's super easy. The space combat in this game is kind of trivial. At least at the end game. Like in the beginning it's hard because like you get the Frontier, and that ship is utterly worthless in combat. Those lasers and the shields and everything you use are terrible. But let me well, take on this tour real quick. I want to show you something after this, where if we go to the crick system, I got the Vigilance parked out there. It's pretty interesting. So we'll go to photo mode. So this is about as long as you can make the ship. I think you can get just like a couple more meters out of it, but it's not a big deal. Oh, you can see my front thrusters are firing. That's pretty cool. But I like the streamlined look on the bottom. Looks pretty cool. I don't know if they patched something. We had a new patch go into effect, I don't know, today or yesterday, but it seems to be running a lot smoother for me now. So anyways, this is the ship. Let me Crix is the star system where the Crimson Fleet is headquartered, and you can go to the Key, which is the space station. I just want to show you something real quick. I thought it was pretty interesting.
The chords are right on the money.
Alright, and there's the station right there, but we're going to go check out the vigilance down here. So we disabled it, and the idea is the Crimson Fleet is going to... Oh shit, too fast. The Crimson Fleet is going to get this thing back running and use it as like a flagship. But I wanted to go to photo mode. So this is like I said, this is about the largest ship in the game you can make. And look how small it is compared to the Vigilance. I guess these are considered M-class ships, these capital ships. But you can't make these without modding the game. But it's like tiny compared to... It's like, I don't even think it's like 20% the length. But I don't know. Yeah, I just thought it was a pretty interesting dynamic between the largest ships in the game that we can make to what the largest ships in the game actually are. Let's see if I can get a picture of this. Nice. Alright, well, as I said, it's an interesting ship. I'll be honest, this isn't going to be my daily driver. I still think that, what did I call it? I don't even remember. The gateway ship that I built is probably my favorite so far. Like, I didn't, when I started building that thing, I didn't even really have an idea of what I was doing. I literally just sat there staring at the screen for a few minutes and started throwing stuff on the ground and putting stuff together. I knew I didn't want to use the Cabot bridge because I've had some comments like all my ship builds use that, and like I said, they're not wrong. A lot of my ship builds use the Cabot bridge, but I wanted to try some different ideas, different bridges. But yeah, like I said, I really like that ship design. I was going to try to make it a Class C ship, but I found that doesn't really work so well with the shape because there's really no way to mount the engines. Jesus, just going to dump me off on the ground there.
We're asking everyone. Okay, no problem.
So it's a cool ship, but I like this one a lot, and I really like this one. I like the way this came out. This was a kind of a pain in the ass to get it. I'm right at the mass limit, and to try to get the 4,000 cargo, because I took, when I first built this, I had the White Dwarf 3015 engines on there. And it's fun, it goes fast, but even without the engines, you can see from my previous ship, my speed is over 200, and it's only 280 with the White Dwarf 3015 engines. And the problem with those White Dwarf engines is you can't get any cargo, really. It was like 1,100 cargo, I think I put on there. But so I went ahead and put the most powerful B-class engines on here, this SAE 5660 engines. And I wanted to, in my mind, I set a limit of 4,000 cargo, and I was like, oh, that'll be easy to do, right? And it wasn't. It was a pain in the ass to figure out how to do this. But this ship has a lot of hab space inside, and then So it was, like I said, it was like just a matter of playing Tetris and figuring out how to put all this stuff in there. I got the cargo deck on the bottom. But anyways, like I said, I was able to get it up to 4,000, and the 28 light year jump range thing. I know somebody's gonna say something when I post this that it doesn't matter. There's no, until somebody proves me wrong. I don't believe there's any jump point. I can go to every planet in the system with 28 light year jump range. I have not found any jumps that I can't make with 28. Now 27, I know there is one that is like 27.3 ish, but 28 is enough for that, and I've never found anything more than that. So, anyways, like I said, this is a she's a biggie. Oh shit. Anyways, this is what I've been doing all night. You can see the stupid guns are still slewed to the right there. I wish they would, after combat ends, if they would just reorient themselves back forward. Whatever. Alright, thanks for the video, and I'll check you out later.